30,000 people. One email. No warning, no manager pulling you aside, no HR meeting.
They are out of a job. That's around 18% of Oracle's total workforce. The move is aimed at freeing up money to spend on AI projects.
Just a message from Oracle leadership, landing in your inbox before the coffee finished brewing.
That the cloud computing company has notified thousands of employees that their jobs are being cut.
For the engineers, architects, and operations staff who built their careers inside one of the most powerful technology companies on Earth, March 31st, 2026 wasn't a restructuring, it was an erasure. The termination email was clinical in its efficiency. After careful consideration of Oracle's current business needs, we have made the decision to eliminate your role as a part of a broader organizational change. As a result, today is your last working day. No performance review, no warning shot. Employees across the US, India, Canada, and Mexico received the same message simultaneously, a synchronized severance that swept across time zones. When the dust settled, Oracle had cut between 20,000 and 30,000 employees, roughly 18% of its global workforce, in what analysts believe could become one of the largest workforce reductions in the company's history. But to understand what actually happened, you have to set aside every assumption you have about why companies lay people off. Because this wasn't about failure. It was about the future Oracle wants to build, and who it's decided doesn't belong in it. Oracle posted a 95% jump in net income last quarter, reaching $6.13 billion. Revenue hit $17.2 billion, up 22%, with a backlog of contracted but unrecognized revenue sitting at $553 billion, up 325% year over year, almost entirely driven by large-scale AI deals. By every conventional measure, Oracle is thriving. The layoffs aren't a medical examiner's report on a dying business. They're a blueprint for what the company intends to become. The culprit, and the catalyst, is AI infrastructure, and the staggering cost of building it at speed. Oracle committed to capital expenditures of around $50 billion for fiscal year 2026, a figure that arrived $15 billion higher than what they'd told Wall Street just months earlier, and one that keeps climbing as new AI contracts stack up. To close the gap, Oracle raised $45 to $50 billion in debt and equity financing, with the layoffs themselves expected to free up an additional $8 to $10 billion in annual cash flow. The math is brutal in its simplicity. Tens of thousands of salaries, converted into server racks. What makes this different from a typical cost-cutting cycle is that AI isn't just the destination Oracle is spending toward. It's also the reason certain jobs were chosen for elimination. Bloomberg reported that some cuts were specifically targeted at job categories Oracle expects it will need less of precisely because of AI. The company didn't just cut to save money. It cut strategically, using AI's expanding capabilities as a map for which human roles had become redundant. Oracle's co-CEO acknowledged as much, noting that AI coding tools are now enabling smaller engineering teams to ship more complete solutions faster. A quiet admission that the technology Oracle is selling is simultaneously replacing the people who built it. The workers caught in this transformation weren't junior employees or easily replaceable support staff. Engineers, architects, database administrators, enterprise resource planning implementation specialists, and operations staff were all included in the cuts, with entire teams in revenue and health sciences and SaaS virtual operations services seeing workforce reductions of at least 30%. NetSuite's India Development Center took hits across project management and engineering at multiple seniority levels. These were people with decades of specialized expertise, the kind of institutional knowledge companies once treated as irreplaceable. Oracle's message, delivered at 6 a.m. on a Tuesday, was that AI had changed the definition of irreplaceable. Then there's the question that nobody at Oracle is answering cleanly. Was the decision of who to cut also made by an algorithm? Unconfirmed reports emerged that Oracle may have used AI to determine which employees to eliminate, a claim the company declined to address when contacted. Legal experts say the law offers workers almost no protection here. The law has not fully caught up to where we are from a technological standpoint, said Lisa Koblin, a labor and employment partner at law firm Saul Ewing, noting that while employers cannot discriminate based on protected categories, they have significant leeway when making decisions on cost grounds. In other words, if an algorithm decided your salary made you expendable, there may be no legal avenue to challenge it. The machine that displaced your work may have also signed your termination.
I mean, we live in an economy now where changes like this happen all the time, and artificial intelligence, which is at the root of what they're doing at Oracle/Cerner, will have an effect like this on thousands of...
The executive suites, meanwhile, look quite different. Hilary Maxson, Oracle's newly appointed finance chief, joined the company carrying $26 million in stock options, at the precise moment those 30,000 termination emails were going out. Oracle also set aside a $2.1 billion restructuring budget for fiscal 2026.
The Financial Times reports Oracle added $500 million, bringing this fiscal year's restructuring budget to $2.1 billion.
The bulk of which is walking out the door as severance checks. The gap between what the company is paying to shed its workforce and what it's rewarding its incoming leadership with tells you everything about where Oracle sees its value sitting in the years ahead. Oracle isn't an outlier here. It's the loudest example of an industry-wide pivot. In just the first quarter of 2026, tech layoffs affected over 103,000 workers, with Oracle, Amazon, and Meta leading the cuts, and roughly half of all companies citing AI tools as the reason, replacing roles in customer support, quality assurance, and middle management. Amazon cut 16,000 corporate roles in January. Microsoft eliminated 15,000 positions last year. Going back further, AI was cited as a factor in nearly 55,000 U.S. layoffs in 2025 alone, concentrated in tech at companies including Salesforce and CrowdStrike. What's emerging isn't a recession, or a correction, or a moment of market panic. It's a rewrite of the social contract between tech companies and the workers who built them. The playbook is consistent across companies. Reduce headcount in execution roles, deploy AI to automate that execution, and hire a smaller, specialized team to build and manage the AI systems. Fewer people, higher output. Completely different skills required. Sharon Guy, a former Alibaba executive and author on AI's economic impact, puts it plainly. The companies that are laying off people are not financially struggling. They're making a capital-intensive bet on AI infrastructure that their current balance sheet cannot comfortably sustain, and eliminating tens of thousands of employees to close the gap. The freed-up cash doesn't flow back to workers in new forms. It flows into data centers. A WARN Act filing confirms Oracle expects separations to be completed by June 1, 2026. And if the company failed to provide the required 60-day advance notice for mass layoffs at qualifying sites, affected employees may be owed 60 days of back pay on top of any severance offered. For the thousands now navigating a suddenly hostile job market, that may be the only institutional protection they have left. Oracle's story resists easy moral framing. The company isn't lying about its AI ambitions. The demand is real, the contracts are enormous, and the infrastructure race is genuinely winner-take-most. But a 95% profit surge and a $553 billion backlog existed alongside the decision to send 30,000 people a termination letter before sunrise. That wasn't a forced hand, that was a choice. The workers who lost their jobs didn't fail Oracle. Oracle decided they were the most efficient source of capital for a future it intends to build without them. The question that lingers isn't whether AI transformation is inevitable. It is. The question is whether the companies leading it have any obligation to the people they're leaving behind, or whether the only thing that matters now is how fast you can convert human payroll into processing power. Oracle, for its part, has already answered.